Friday, July 3rd. Front page of the Post-Dispatch this morning features a story about the determined suicide of Darren Patrick, pastor of and founder of The Journey here in St. Louis, a megachurch, 5 sites, at its peak 6,000 members, down to about 2,700 now. But the author of the story, Jesse Bogan, goes into some detail about the things that have happened in the recent past in Reverend Patrick's life. Few years ago, he was discovered to have, or determined to have behaved unethically in some ways within the congregation, and ultimately was removed from his post, but given a program of growth, a set of activities that he was to engage in to try and return him to good standing and good health. And apparently there were some folks who felt like he had not fully done the things that he needed to do. But in any case, apparently in May, he turned his gun on himself. What the organization did, what the community surround him did in response to the problems that he was having in his life, was to try to support positive change for him. There was various kinds of counseling activities and assignments for him to do as a way of shoring up his own emotional, spiritual well-being. What the article does not say, and which I fear may not even have happened, was that the community around him, while looking carefully at and supporting transformation in Darren Patrick's life, were not particularly engaged in looking at how it was that the community had constructed the problems that he was having. We tend to see these kinds of issues as being a product of what the individual is doing or failing to do. We don't see it as a part of the larger system. One of the things that we are experiencing in the larger American and, in fact, international community, but particularly here in the United States, so we're looking at how it is that systems construct the well-being of the individuals within it. And it seems to me that if I had the misfortune of being the pastor of a megachurch who had to be on all the time and had to be perfect and had to have this perfect family with a white picket fence and the 2.3 kids, and there were these expectations of me, I would almost necessarily, no, not even almost, I would necessarily fall short of what I thought people were expecting of me. And I would be gripped by that. And I would find it very difficult to have a good sense of myself because I know that I am not who other people are expecting me to be. I'm not even who I think I'm trying to make them believe that I am. And so this dissonance internally creates this great anxiety, this depression, and this acting out behavior that was ultimately the source of his fall and of his shame and of his despair, such that he decided to end his own life. We, in the communities in which people live, need to look at what we're doing that constructs the problem. I'm not saying anything critical about the Journey or the folks there. This is about who we are as a larger community, which has difficulty taking responsibility for the structures that we create that are actually constructive of the problems that individuals have. We really want to be able to look at all of the relevant aspects of the system. All right, let's celebrate Interdependence Day this weekend.